Welcome to the annual service plan for 2019. We're building on what has been a very good year for us. There's lots of things that are long-term plans for us that we're continuing to build on. There's a number of new items in our annual service plan for this year, all linking back to our core objectives about making Lancashire safer, but making sure we're also looking after our staff, that we've got really good levels of staff engagement, and there are lots of things we want to do around that this year. We also recognise that we've got some really good staff out there that don't necessarily want promotion but are interested in driving the organisation forward, and we want to find ways for them to contribute their views and give people the opportunity to get involved more often than they have been able to in the past.
The problem with fire safety is that a lot of it's historically paper-based. The idea is supposed to be that we're looking at new ways of working, iPads particularly, and remote working, and the likelihood is that we'll probably be able to get rid of a lot of these paper files, but we've been doing it that way since God was a man, so it's like turning around an oil tank into it.
The iPads are going to 4G, aren't they, so we can do a bit more work outside.
Well, the idea is they just want to do it like you do with your home fire safety checks, that you go out, use your iPad, do it, and it's sent, it's done, it's finished.
Pre-alert system is just a message to say there could be a job in your area.
Does that mean, because obviously Royal Preston Hospital, you get quite a lot of calls to them, you're getting quite a lot of pre-alerts from the hospital?
They can take them out of the loop sort of thing. For us at Fullwood, it has made an improvement on our turnout times for certain jobs, purely because we're retained at night.
Yeah. So the debrief app allows us to be able to capture that hot debrief that we never used to record. So we've seen in excess of 1,000 debriefs submitted through it now. Then like Neil's already touched on, we've got the national learning, and then we've also got that learning within Lancs, which shapes what training that you deliver here. It's certainly improved the quantity and quality of debriefs that we're receiving.
It's about assuring ourselves that the standards that we're currently operating at are acceptable and creating an environment where we can improve that standard even further.
With the two guys that have come across from Manchester, it gives you an insight talking to them because they see it from both sides and they openly admit that it's much better in Lancashire, a lot better. Which is reassuring, isn't it? Because how do we know otherwise? HMI tells you one thing, but actually, it's nice to hear from the ground.
When it came on, certainly we saw it, looked a bit big and cumbersome and a bit how you're going to get that around the streets of Blackburn. But again, tried and tested, and it's proven that as a frontline appliance it can work.
When the Stinger initially came to us, it was a prototype, what they are one and only in the world. Rather than it just being dropped on us and it has to stay as it is, there's been constant adjustments being made. It's been sort of firefighter led really, hasn't it?
The biggest thing that people complain about, and I can understand why, is the space in the back. But again,
they've altered that.
They've listened to what we've said and they're taking out parts of it to make it bigger inside.
That's the thing with any warfare, and water's restricted, so you have to find a different way. Now, it sounds strange, but you can use fire to put fire out, but that's if you're controlling it in the right way. So you are firefighting, but by setting that fire. When we think about fire burns in a direction, so you get the different sides, flanks, and then the head. The head will move quickest.
Right.
And we create a backfire burning towards the head, which will removes the fuel in front of it.
We've actually practically done it at a job. What job was that?
Churton Moor, we've done it at. I was up on the moor up here.
But that particular one, everybody watched it and it kind of looked like we were about to lose it. It was high, it was big, and everyone's watching it thinking, oh, a bit nervous. And then, like, Dave was confident, put his burn in, met it, and the whole thing went up, and then it was amazing to watch.
For the drone, it's the right bit of kit when you've got firefighters going to get a drone.
Yeah. There's only, although quite a lot of the services, police and fire have drones, at this moment in time I think there's only 4 on the asset register. Lancs is one of them.
You're getting busier?
Yes. We've currently got 11 people trained up now to fly it. So we've got the resilience. So it should never be off the run.
Young caller trialling the new appraisal documentation, and the feedback from the last big meeting is that they really do think that that's easier. The idea for it is really more about what kind of challenges people have had, what kind of things do people want to learn, where they want to sort of kind of like see themselves as well. So it's more of, like I said before, a bit of a two-way conversation.
I'd like to see in the new intranet some staff forums around specific areas. So if some people are doing really good practice around, say, site-specific risk information or anything like that, then we can almost have a self-help group and not so much of a top-down approach.
Firehouse has been here for 40 years, it's one of our best facilities that we've got, and it's just getting ready for a bit of TLC. And as part of that 4.7 million, we've also got replacement for Midgley. That's coming to end of life, so the new Fleet Garages building that starts at the end of this year. A lot of the build as well is based on VAD contamination. The regulations has changed massively. So the new facility's got all sorts of fabulous air changes and from dirty to clean pathway.
We've seen a range of the things that are going on within the fire rescue service in Lancashire. I'd encourage you to have a good look at the document, have a read through it, get engaged wherever possible, let us know what your views are, your opinions. We are doing really well in the eyes of the public and in the eyes of those that inspect us. We recognise that in our staff too, and we just hope that we can continue to work really effectively together over the next 12 months to continue to drive Lancashire forward and also continue to make the public of Lancashire safer.